birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series here on V-Speed. I'm Eddie Smith, and we're jumping right into the action. They jumped ahead, did not let me know, so apologies. We won't get a grid or anything tonight. Won't get a start of the race. Don't know what happened. Want to thank Big Fish Barbecue for the pole award. We don't know who that is, so it might have been Ryan Pendleton. I'm not sure. So. Yeah, I had no idea we were moving to the race, so hey, we'll jump right into the action. Won't waste any time. Ryan Pendleton out front early, and that clean air is going to be a big thing here tonight. Take a look at your race analysis as we'll kind of got some separation here. Just 8 drivers here tonight, so we'll kind of jump right through this. 120 laps, 45 mile per hour pit road speed, unlimited tire sets if you need it. No green, white checkered attempts, and 100% fuel load here tonight. So, but already a good start for Ryan Pendleton, who is looking to try to sneak in there and try to grab this championship if he can. It's going to be a tough go because Scott Rankin has such a massive advantage at the moment. He's 189 points coming into this race. Ryan Pendleton 175. So that's about 14-point difference. And honestly, I think Scott just needs to finish tonight, and then I think he has got this thing wrapped up, assuming we don't all of a sudden have about 20 drivers in the field or more next week, which I don't think we will. So Scott Rankin will likely take the championship, and we'll do it here tonight. Get the picker up on the board. We can see where everybody's at. Right now, Ryan Pendleton with the lead. We've got to go all the way back a little bit here to 5th, 6th, and 7th. Got Jacob Ellingson. As we get the paint schemes up. Apologies again for not getting the start of the race. Did not know we were moving on, so yeah, kind of threw me for a loop. Somebody's going down to the inside. It's like Matt Knight's just letting it slide down to the apron. Able to hang on to it, though, and looks like the front wing is good to go. But pretty spread out at the moment. Joe Hobbs and Jacob Ellingson here are about the closest ones to each other. Stay on board with them. It's very, very difficult to pass. That dirty air is just really nasty as Jacob Ellingson going to get loose. And that's going to allow Joe Hobbs to go right around him on the outside. That's an easy way to pass, is to get somebody loose. Well, we've talked a lot about the different disciplines here in this particular type of racing, and you know, we have the in-car adjustments that are so prevalent in the oval side. You know, on the road courses, you've got the different tire compounds, you've got the push to pass, all that plays a factor. But at the oval, it's all about weight jacker and your front roll bars and stuff like that. So gonna have to play with those as you go, and it looks like maybe Jacob messing around a little bit too much. And man, somebody was sitting there. Oh, Warren Clayton gets a little bit loose and goes around. Let's see if we can come back and find out what happened to him. Warren Clayton here in the 17, down to the bottom. Yeah, same thing that happened to Ellingson. Gets a little bit loose, goes through the grass like Matt Knight, able to get back out on the track and able to hang on to that car. But scary moment there for Warren Clayton. Under fire from Nathan Graham, who's going to go out to the outside, and Ellingson gets super loose, and Graham had a little bit of wash off the corner and almost pushed up into the wall. Right now, Joe Hobbs is your biggest mover of the race. Started in 7th up to 4th place, so he's been able to make some moves and get that car up towards the front. So pretty spread out at the moment. We'll take a look at some of the pre-race stuff as we are watching to get some of that stuff out of the way. Lebanon, Tennessee is where this track is. 1.33 miles, so not quite half a 1.5 miler, but pretty dang close, and it's opened in January 2001. A lot of folks really love this track. I am not a huge fan of it, but it seemed like in the IndyCar it could be a lot of fun. Let's go on board with Ryan Pendleton here and see what it's like out front. Shifting 4th to 5th. 5th right at the start-finish line. Keeping his foot in it all the way down to the bottom. Shifting it down to 4th. Not completely rolling out, I wouldn't imagine. It'd probably be pretty silly in IndyCar, but not half throttle. down to the bottom, then getting right back on it, just trying to carry as much speed as those front tires will allow you to do. And you see those guys trying to make that weight jacker work, those guys back in traffic, but you see the razor's edge these guys are on. You can't push it too far. Take a look at our cameras that we have here tonight in the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series. You got Jacob Ellingson, you got Warren Clayton there, Patrick Travis, Scott Rankin, your champion, and Nathan Graham there, all on screen tonight. So definitely appreciate their support with the cameras. Hopefully we get to make some use of that at some point. But right now, Ryan Pendleton out to a early lead, doing everything he can to stay close to Scott Rankin in the points, but just more importantly, get those wins, which are always worth it. And Joe Hobbs now has gone by Patrick Drabick, who must have had some sort of issue there. Go back and see if we can find out what happened to Patrick. Is he got? Oh yeah, he was already slow on the track. Go back a little bit further. See if it's the same issue that everybody's been having. Go back and go on board and see what that looks like. Watching this replay of Patrick Drabick, it's loose off of turn 4. Yeah, you can see the car starting to come around as he's full throttle, and through the grass he goes and back out on the track. So Drabick pushing the limits of what this car can do. Right now, he is going to be under fire from Nathan Graham, who's trying to keep pace with Joe Hobbs, who has now moved up into the 3rd position. And Scott Rankin has also moved up towards the front. Looks like Warren Clayton has come down pit road. No fast repair in this series, so not able to do that. Those who are watching in chat, let me know how the stream is at the moment. Showing a little bit of network issues, so if that is the case, love to try to resolve that. But last week we continue on. Nathan Graham able to get around Patrick Drabick, so Drabick going to fall back after that really bad slide. Going to fall back to the 5th position. He has started in the 2nd spot, and he is falling all the way back to 5th. And it just shows that while it seems like this would be really easy, high downforce car on an oval, it is not. Trying to find that speed, and it's a position that you're in where you can't afford to make a mistake. That's the difference. When you're in a big stock car and you're driving, you got high horsepower, you can make up for small errors here and there. But in an Indy car, trying to run almost full throttle, not quite, but trying to get as full throttle as you can, any mistake, any lift, any wrong mile an hour off that you are contributes to just your overall speed. So it's important that every single lap you're laying down really fast laps, you don't make a mistake, and that's prevalent for why the front two up here are Patrick looks like he almost got loose there. Front two have pulled away by almost 10 seconds over Joe Hobbs and Nathan Graham, who are Hobbs is now 10 seconds back from Scott Rankin. Nathan Graham, though, getting a good run. He said he wanted to survive this week and just have an opportunity at Laguna Seca for the finale. You see, got a really good run there. Going to have a toe down the front straightaway. Going to look down to the inside. Joe Hobbs, really no position to fight that off, and it's a little bit too early in this race. So move Nathan Graham up into the 3rd spot. Hobbs going to look back down to the inside. He's going to wash up off the corner. That's that little small mistake that can cost so much time. And you can see almost half a second by the end of the straightaway. So it looks like Hobbs really struggling once he got behind Nathan Graham. And that car is just not wanting to react like he wants it. Well, while we have a little bit of lull here, I wanted to talk about a little B-Speed Invitational that we have. If you're in the Goat Locker Discord, I posted it in the general chat. If you're in any of the leagues at B-Speed broadcast, then likely that invitation is there for you. It's open to all drivers of the leagues that B-Speed broadcast. So it's a cool little deal Adam and Bradley have put together. And it will be this weekend, Friday and Saturday, as they still Hobbs blinks out a little bit there. Is Dravik starting to run him back down. But yeah, so it's going to be a four race series for money, man. The winner of the overall tournament is going to win over $200. So really cool, $15 entry fee. So check out your Discords of your series that you're a part of. If you're a driver, a current active driver, I think you are eligible. So go get signed up. I think they're trying to hit 70 entries, and I think they're pretty dang close. So if you want to do that, definitely go do that quickly. It will not last. I think that the max of 90 folks that are going to be signed up. I think last I looked, they were definitely over 50. So it's going to close up pretty quick. So go check that out. But not much has changed. Patrick Dravik has gotten a little bit close to Joe Hobbs. Hobbs, we saw him getting a little push happy when Nathan Graham went around him, who Nathan is really moving at the moment, able to pull away, but not catching the leaders. I think he's just pulling away from these fellas here. So we'll sail forward with Dravik as he tries to run down Hobbs. We'll take a look on board with Patrick Dravik. He is trying to hunt down Joe Hobbs here. Saw him already get loose, go down to the inside, into the grass. Obviously got that weight jacker. I'll back up a little bit. Have to work on it right here to get that clean air. He's right down to the bottom, and really Hobbs not giving him much issue at all. Gets a run down the front straightaway, and he should have the position for the middle of the corner, and he does. Hobbs gonna try a little crossover, come back down in front of him. Oh, and Dravik gets really loose as soon as he gets out in front. So you gotta wonder if he's got that weight checker turned down a little bit, try to loosen that car up, and when he's behind Joe Hobbs, as soon as he gets out front, that weight jacker now all of a sudden it's a negative. Gonna try again though, has a run down to the inside. We'll see if he can adjust for that. Hobbs, though, going to fight hard back on the outside and prevent Patrick Dravik from taking that spot. So Hobbs playing a little defensive. Dravik had the pass almost done, got a little bit loose, and now going to go back after it. Battle for third place here on lap 38 of 120. Dravik going right down to the bottom, and Hobbs trying to work that outside line, but it seems like the bottom just too strong. Nashville normally doesn't have much of a middle or high line. You can get lucky every once in a while and make it work, but it just doesn't work very often. And Dravik uses that bottom line, goes straight out front, but here comes Hobbs with a run. He ain't playing around. He's like, hey, there's only 8 of us, so let's have fun. And he is able to try to make a little move down to the inside, but Dravik now going to have that spot to move Patrick Dravik up to third place. Just a third of the way of this through this race, I would imagine. Just a one-stopper if we stay green, which it looks like we probably will, as they are looking to make it to at least lap 60. So if they start pitting before 60, you know it's going to be a 2-stop race. And we'll pay attention to that as much as we can. Yeah, it looks like Nathan Graham had some sort of issue. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this internet. I get the stream where it's a little bit less stuttery. I don't know if it's an internet issue or whatever, but I don't know what happened to Nathan Graham. I think he might have had some sort of issue a few laps ago. Let's see if we can go back and find out what happened. Oh yeah, he was down on the bottom of the track. Lost third place. Yeah, he gets loose here. Hey, gummit, we'll try to back it off where we can actually see it. Nathan Graham. Watch as he comes off turn 4. Just loses it off the top side, trying to keep it off the wall, and that's what happened. Able to get that thing back going, but he is back and forth as Joe Hobbs has had some sort of issue as well. He's down, maybe come down on pit road. I don't know. I don't know if he crashed down into pit road. Yeah, he's going through the grass here. Let's go back. On the front stretch, turn 4 has been a nasty turn for a lot of guys. Yeah, he's pushing on exit, giving it a little bit more wheel, but I don't know how in the world he went through the grass here. Oh, he just clips the apron. Just stays on the access road, does a little mow in the grass here. And now it's coming down pit road to, looks like maybe making, probably going to be a penalty, I would guess. I'm not sure. But crashing through pit road like that, usually you end up with some sort of penalty. But we'll see. Looks like he's definitely taking tires and fuel. And it looks like he is serving a penalty at the moment. I don't know if he's got damage or not, but at almost 30 seconds of damage, or 30 seconds at the moment. That's really hard to say. Still sitting on pit road, but we go back out to the lead. Ryan Pendleton still out front and continues to pull away as he is now 3.8, 3.9, now 4 seconds ahead of Scott Rankin in second. Just laying down some heaters, not really being contested at all. And we'll see if he can make it to lap 60. If he can, then he will come down pit road, make his stop, and then do 60 more laps. And if he can't get this thing in victory lane, you can see he is already very, very close to putting Patrick Dravick a lap down. And Nathan Graham not too much further behind. So he's just clicking off laps just a little bit quicker every single lap. His best lap is 24.3, which is about 0.2 faster than everybody else. And then last lap, he was the only driver in a 24-second lap time. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back and try to get you through this one. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. And looks like it just might be an internet issue on my part. So um, if it is stuttering, then I do apologize. We will do whatever we can to make sure it's good down the road. But internet has been wild and crazy here lately. Ryan Pendleton's still out front. And boy, I tell you what, struggling a little bit to find stuff to talk about. Just everybody is so spread out. Jacob Ellingson down at 1 lap. Matt Knight's down 2. Warren Clayton, after that incident, is down 4 laps. And Joe Hobbs, after that penalty or maybe some damage fixed, I think it might have been a penalty. He is also down 5 laps. So Ryan Pendleton, your leader, continues to lead. Scott Rankin, haven't really talked too much about him so far, but he has got that championship, I believe, locked down. Kind of go back and talk about that again. He's got 3 wins on the season, and like I said, 14 points right now. If the race finishes, Ryan Pendleton, I think, gains about 3 points on him. And here comes Scott Rankin down pit road now. Comes down pit road right at lap 60. And you see Nathan Graham back there locking him up, trying to come down. Patrick Drabick going to come down as well. And Ryan Pendleton, not wasting any time, says, all right, I'm going to follow you guys right in pit road, and I'm not going to let this win slip away. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, Ryan Pendleton has led every single lap so far. That should give him a couple bonus points, and just not going to be enough. It's just not enough drivers. There's going to have to be, like I said, about 15 drivers or so just off the top of the dome to be able to even have a shot, and that would require Scott Rankin to completely either miss the race or to, bin it early. So don't expect that to happen. Participation has been relatively low in this series. So we had about 14, I think, the first night, and then it just kind of falls off over time. But that's normally what happens. So Patrick Drabick slow on the track. Coming out of pit road here. Yeah, in the access road, just about spins it out. Does he make contact with the wall? No, doesn't. Able to keep it off that wall, get it back going. But getting a little bit loose coming off pit road. Now back out it after it. And now Ryan Pendleton has lapped everybody up to second place. Now Ryan Pendleton and Scott Rankin, the only 2 drivers on the lead lap, as Patrick Drabick and Nathan Graham both have had some sort of issue. We'll go back and see if we can find out what happened to Nathan Graham here. If he spun coming off of pit road, we'll see. And at a replay. This is the same spot that Drabick went around. So we'll see if the same thing happened to Graham. No, it doesn't look like it. So not really sure what happened to Nathan, but he is in 5th place, 2 laps down. Looks like Jacob Ellingson has called it quits. See Patrick Drabick and Warren Clayton going side by side. They are about 2 laps apart at the moment. With no fast repair, I tell you, your race can go from really bad to really good very quickly, or vice versa, if you're not able to, I mean, Pendleton could loop it at any moment, and all of a sudden Scott Rankin's going to win this race, and racing on the razor's edge. But getting down to about 50 laps to go. And right now, Ryan Pendleton out to a 7.5-second lead. Well, talking a little bit about Goat Locker, they really cool that they were able to. I was trying to figure out how to get this stuttering to stop, but I just don't know if it's on my end or not. So I'm not gonna waste any more downtime trying to figure it out during the stream. It just is what it is, and hopefully it'll clear up. But as far as I can tell, nothing on my end is causing it, so we'll deal with it for now. Try to figure out it later, but yeah, Goat Locker's got a lot of cool stuff right now that we're in a summer series, and so this is why participation is kind of low, and it's not just about participation, it's about what these guys are doing in the real world. This is just so cool to see these guys out there giving out sim rigs, and it's a passion that they have, a passion for sim racing. It's really cool to see folks turn their passions into it's a real world, awesome, good, good works, making a difference in your communities, and that's exactly what these guys have done. Warren Clayton was a recipient of one of these rigs, and he is in the race tonight, and so just really cool to see that they have done just awesome stuff, and so. Goat Locker is going to be doing some good things, but Summer Series right now, just to kind of give you a break from, these real competitive series that they have here at Goat Locker. And while everybody's still competitive, these are just meant to, we don't want a lull of, 2+ months while we kind of take a break from the series. And so what happens during these Summer Series just gives folks a something to look forward to, where they show up and have a fun time, race, try something new, like what's going on here with the IndyCar. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think this has worked out pretty well. I do like the IndyCar. I think there's been definitely some exciting races. This is the first one where somebody has really pulled out. The field has been spread out as much as this had. So, but that's okay. That's part of racing. That's why we race to whoever's the best, whoever can get out front and get out there and dominate. But once these Summer Series are over, looking forward to the end of August, where we get these other series back rolling. The Xfinity Series, I think, there's been no announcements as far as what cars will be driven. I'm just making assumptions based on last season, but seeing the Xfinity cars, the next gen, and the trucks, I would imagine would be the cars that they're going to have. So. Looking forward to getting that going. Of course, a couple races be here on V Speed. A couple others will be on NASCAR 360. So, going to be a lot of good racing to be had. To see Ryan Pendleton going to go around Warren Clayton there, put him 4 laps down. here on lap 80 or 79 actually. But yeah, so it's cool to go in here and try something new, and I think the racing up front's been pretty incredible, and I think some guys working through this car. Anytime you try a new car out, it's a lot of learning, and this car is not easy. I think I've said this before. I think the car gives the idea that this is easy, that this is a car that you go flat out and you're all running a big pack and you draft and pass and all that kind of stuff. But it's not that way at all. This car is very difficult to race and race well, and so it can kind of scare some folks off for sure. We're looking forward to get back in the Xfinity car, which I think puts on some of the best racing on the service. So looking forward to that. The next gen, I think, has been pretty exciting. The ARCA and then the trucks. Just a full NASCAR slate. If you like NASCAR racing, which is primarily what kind of racing the Goat Locker is. I mean, there's a great place here. So you can find something for you. So looking forward to for getting that going. That's going to be a lot of fun. I think Pat might have been on a radio station a couple weeks ago. So out there doing all the work he has to do, and kind of just to fall back on if you're new, if you're not aware of what Goat Locker is, if you're just a random viewer joining, just want to see some IndyCar out there. Yeah, these guys are retired Navy vets. Some of them still active, some of them retired, some of them maybe a little bit in between. I don't know, but a very military focused league, and doing a lot of good things for military vets. Just it's so cool to see these guys take their passion for sim racing, carve out their own. I mean, there's plenty of veteran focused organizations, plenty of veteran focused, charities and folks looking to make a difference in that community. But Goat Locker really kind of, carved out their own little niche, and there's a couple others. I think there's, I'm not going to butcher the name, but back on Podium, there was a series that offers veterans a chance to join a pit crew, which I thought was really awesome. And Goat Locker is just having a different thing. Hey, the best way to have some really good races is to grow your membership, and so they're doing it sort of indirectly by giving out sim rigs to vets, and hey, they'll be joining Goat Locker to race, so offering them the avenue to come and race and have a good time, have camaraderie. I think of the military as it's a large group of people, but there's a certain when you're there, I think from what I've never been in the military, but what I've heard and seen is a lot of trash talk, a lot of fun, hee-hawing around, and that's kind of what Goat Locker is like. It's competitive. I mean, everybody tries really hard. Everybody wants to win, want to be the best. You want to be a champion. You want to win one of those championship belts. I think those are pretty cool, pretty prestigious. But get in here, talk a little crap, have some camaraderie. I think that's what is Goat Locker about. It's not really about the racing, not about a winning. It's just all about that, giving you an avenue. You see that in the intro, one lap at a time, and it's just like, hey, this it can be difficult coming back, dealing with PTSD, other issues, and to have a place where I always use Chuck as an example, but Chuck is former, he's a Marine, he's not former, but he is a Marine, and he talks about this as a former therapy for him. He's got meetings that he goes to, and I think he is okay for me telling this type of stuff, but he'll tell it to you himself. But to be able to get out here, race with folks, get that competitive juices flowing, having some camaraderie, he said it's like therapy. So that's what Goat Locker is all about giving these guys a distraction maybe if they need one, or just a good time. And I think there's been a lot of friendships that have blossomed over here at Goat Locker. I know I have really enjoyed my time here. Just kind of got here by mistake. I really wasn't didn't mean to, didn't know what Goat Locker was at the time, and joined. And boy, am I glad I did. It definitely improved my life on iRacing, able to jump into broadcast, and I definitely owe Pat and Jamie, any broadcasting that I've done that you've enjoyed is really because of them. So definitely has been a bright spot in iRacing in the community for sure. And they look to continue to grow that. They've got good partners like Lincoln Tech, Invest, and Relevant Sounds, and of course you got all the long-term ones like Jam Printing Promotions, Veterans for Life, Cruising Classics, Big Fish now this season. I mean, there is just a ton of sponsors. Sim Motion. I mean, they've got a partnership with Alexander PCs, which is where the PCs on the vets get whenever they win the sim rig. They're going to build the PC right now. Roofing. Let's see. Next Level Racing, iRacing, is going to be also providing a 1-year subscription to all veterans who get the sim rig. And then to add on top of that, they just announced a new sponsorship with Maconi Entertainment, Maconi Setup Shop. And, I've done some work over there for Maconi. Jeff's a pretty stand-up guy, obviously a big part of this community. And he's just taking another step by joining up with Goat Locker, providing a setup subscription for the vet that wins the thing. So if you know a vet, you better figure out how to get to where they are right now. I think you have to be in Indiana to get the ones that they're giving out, an Indiana veteran. So if you are, cool, definitely be on the lookout for those type of things. But yeah, just really cool, man. It's they gave one out about a month ago, I believe, at a car show. So looking forward to seeing that fella on track. His name escapes me, but still really cool. All the work they've done, I mean, gosh, it's just blown up and been really incredible. Over the last, couple years, this thing has gone from just an idea, maybe a seed that's been planted, to a full-grown, plant at this point, a tree will, and just so cool to see what these guys have accomplished, what they will accomplish. I'm excited to be here and be a part of. So just being adjacent to it has been just an incredible experience. I mean, great guys, just no doubt that this series has meant a lot to a lot of folks. So looking forward to getting the actual seasons back going. Everybody, some folks take a break. They'll be back for those other seasons. Might meet some new faces. Always good to have some new folks and have some pretty good racing. So but I'm ready for the Xfinity car. This IndyCar has been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed learning about it. That's for sure. I'm pretty weak in other cars. I know a lot about the oval side, the NASCAR side, but just recently got into GT3 racing, and so trying to learn more about the different disciplines that go on around the world. IndyCar, I was excited to be a little bit more knowledgeable about that. I mean, it's been a good learning experience for me, but ready to get those Xfinity cars back on track and see who can come away with that championship. Nick Bellingson in chat saying he's ready to defend it. So looking forward to get those seasons rolling. But in this race, a little less than 20 laps ago, not much has changed in the running order. You can see that on the left side. Patrick Gravick on his own lap. Nathan Graham on his own lap. Ryan Pendleton, Scott Rankin separated by almost 11 seconds. It's Ryan Pendleton as he's been lights out. The only laps he has not led here tonight has been the ones that he come down pit road. And you can see that's just one lap. I'm not even sure if he gave up the lead in that sequence because he pitted after the other leaders. So I don't know if he has missed a single lap, and he's going to lead every single one of them unless something changes as far as a caution, which we haven't seen many of them so far. But it might be one of the quickest races that we've had all season. So we'll get you guys out of here really quick and enjoy the rest of your night. That's for sure. Ryan Pendleton still laying down about a tenth a lap faster than anybody else on the track. And it's just that amount that has been able to let him chip away at, not really chip away, just extend his lead ever so slightly every single lap. And, it doesn't bother Scott Rankin one bit. Scott Rankin has a massive advantage, and he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do in the post-race interview last week, where he said, hey, I don't really need to win. I just need to finish second. I need to finish the race inside the top 3, and that's pretty much over. And I think he's exactly right. So not official. I don't crown champions. I'm just a broadcaster. But I would imagine at this point, unless we somehow pack the field next week, there is not going to be much opportunity for Ryan Pendleton to gain much ground. So Scott, while he's 11 seconds back, doesn't really change much for him. He's got 3 wins on the season. 4th win really wouldn't make a huge difference. He wants to win that championship and show he's the best IndyCar driver here, which he does have an accent. You know, I guess I have an accent, but he's from Australia, I believe. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get in trouble. I don't think he's a Kiwi, but I think he's from Australia. So. Yeah, I'm probably going to get some ugly PMs from that. I'm not really sure. I think he's Australian. But anyway, he's got different accents. So it makes perfect sense that he is better than everybody at these cars. But I think he has put a lot of time into this. I think this is his form of racing. And he talked about it at the beginning of the season. He wanted to be in here and race what he's good at. And it's always cool when you come and show your talents. He said he has done some of the bigger IndyCar races that iRacing has had. I think he is similar to, I think, the Pro Series. I think he was involved in that. So wanted to show up and show how good he can be. And boy, he has been great in every single race. May have not won every single race, but he has been in contention every single one. I think he's got an average finish of first. So he has very rarely finished outside of the top 2, and he has those 3 wins, of course. So definitely shows why he is the best right now. He is just sort of cruising around here, just trying to finish this race without much major issues in just 9 laps. You will have done that. Patrick Dravick has done a great job holding on to this podium spot. He's got his own lap. So Nathan Graham has been super fast, but may have kind of pushed the limit a little bit of what this 05 could do. And you see him making contact with the wall. He said he was not very good at oval. He said he's not a huge oval guy. And so he's definitely really confident on the road course. I'm telling you, he is lights out there on those road courses for sure. But just wants to survive here at these ovals. That's what he's done tonight. But pushed the limits maybe a little bit too much. Got those rear tires a little bit hot. A couple instances where he had gotten loose. But car is still in one piece. Had to go down and serve a penalty. It looks like about 50 seconds. Might have been a little bit of damage as well. But still running in that 4th position. You got Matt Knights back here. I haven't talked to him about him too much. But he's got that 64 up into the top 5. Started in the very back at 8th, and just by attrition, been able to get a top 5 spot. So pretty good for him. Warren Clayton was one of the first few I thought was going to be out of this race, but went down pit road and actually got a little bit of that damage fixed, got that car back going. He's 5 laps down, but still out here having a good time. That's what it's all about. 5 laps to go in this race. Ryan Pendleton still with the lead. Now, of course, I don't think Warren Clayton cares that I say this, but he doesn't normally advertise. He just wants to come here and race. But Warren Clayton does work for Air McLaren, which I think is pretty cool. So he can be Warren McLaren, I guess. That'd be a good nickname for him. But works for the team. I think that's really cool that he is joining us here for IndyCar. Might have been the catalyst for trying to get this thing going. He was first recipient of the sim rig, so really cool to have him on the track. Gonna have to get him some NASCAR stuff, though. I mean, IndyCar is going away. We got to get him into some NASCAR type races. See what he can do. Put some fenders on it. Ryan Pendleton is right behind him. Has slowed down the pace just a little bit. Not really pushing the issue with Warren Clayton. No reason to get up there and try to get yourself in a position to maybe both of you have an incident or get tight or something like that. So he's just kind of riding. So Scott Rankin been able to gain a little bit of time here towards the end of this race. And you can see Ryan Pendleton really pedaling this car. Now it's down to 9 seconds. So just taking it easy, trying to get to the finish. Vin Diesel said whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning's winning. So he can win by 11 or 1 second. It doesn't matter. But Pendleton going to go down to the inside. But the white flag is out here at Nashville. And he's got one more turn to go down and take his second win of the season. He's going to do it off of turn 4 by a massive margin. Ryan Pendleton takes your win here at Nashville. And he'll gain a few points there on Scott Rankin. So the championship not decided just yet. Ryan Pendleton's got something to say about it. Scott Rankin comes home in second position. Patrick Dravick in third. Nathan Graham in fourth. Matt Knights in fifth. Warren Clayton sixth. Joe Hobbs in seventh. Jacob Ellingson in eighth. And George Jewell in ninth. But I don't think he ever turned. Burnouts on the front stretch. Ryan Pendleton, your winner. We'll talk to these guys real quick, get you out of here, and we'll move on to Laguna Seca, which I'm excited about. If you want to watch one, definitely come out and check out Laguna Seca. That'll be a fun one. Watch these guys go down the corkscrew at track. Very technical. Not a lot of good runoff spots there. A lot of runoff that could end up in calamity. So that'll be worth a watch for sure. You really can't stretch the legs of these cars. So I think that's going to be a fun box to put these guys in. But let's bring them into the booth. Let's talk to your winner, Ryan Pendleton. Ryan, this Eddie in the booth got a copy. Ryan, this Eddie in the booth got a copy.
I got you, Eddie. What's going on?
Man, not too much. Congratulations on your second win of the season, man. You're able to dominate this race. There was 120 laps in the race, and you led 120 of them. How about that?
How about it? Yeah. How'd you do up there? Did we give you enough to talk about or no?
Yes, I had plenty to talk about. We had some stream issues, maybe some internet. The internet's been crazy here, so I don't know if it had anything to do with us. I was trying to work through that in the middle of the race, so gave me a little extra time, but we had plenty to talk about, and plenty to talk about with this dominating win. Man, I tell you what, you got out front early. You kind of pulled a slick one on me and moved the session forward. I wasn't ready for. We missed the first 4 laps, so I'm not really sure how you took the lead. But when I got onto the broadcast, when I got onto the track, there you were out front, and boy, you pulled away quickly. Talk a little bit about clean air, how much that makes a difference. We saw that at Iowa play a pretty big factor, but here, man, it sure seemed like it played a much bigger factor tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that, Eddie. I should have let you know. We had too much time in qualifying. How I got the lead is, fortunately, I ran the fastest lap. So I started on the pole. Just got the inside on turn 1 and took the lead from Pat. But it was all about clean air. We knew that from practice. I mean, it just means so much to save your tires. I mean, I was able to run in a different fuel map. I think everyone was good on fuel tonight, but yeah, it's just clean air is awesome. You could see it even when I'd pull up about 1 to 1.5 seconds behind a lap car. You're immediately having to make changes to your car, and it's different throughout the race. So makes it very challenging. I would have loved to seen more cars out there tonight. I think it would have made it kind of exciting because guys were, some guys were wearing out their rears, some guys were wearing out their fronts. So I think you could have seen some really good racing later in those runs with some more cars. But fortunately, not too many guys could show up tonight. We made the best of it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, it's always cool, no matter how many cars show up, to lead every single lap of a race. And I think you even pitted a lap later just to ensure that. I would like to think that. Um, man, really good bid to try to increase that gap. Scott Rankin, or try to close that gap. Scott Rankin comes home in second, so it's going to be just a few points you gained on him. And I think what we got to do is offer some incentive. Try to get about 30 drivers on track next week to give you a shot at the championship. Because if only 9 show up, you're not going to be able to do it. So we're going to have to come up with some way of incentivizing 30 drivers on Laguna Seca. That'd be pretty fun to put a little pressure on Scott with those 3 wins. But still, able to gain a good amount of time. But man, talk a little bit about Lincoln Tech. The series, as I talked a little bit during the race about this series is supposed to be, it's a summer series, a fun series. People can come, people can, show up. They don't have to. And it's a very difficult car. I think folks are always thinking of these open wheel cars. Oh, it's easy. It's easy to drive these things. You're flat out. You're going, you got all that downforce, but man, it is not easy. And I think some folks found out about that this season. But sure, it's fun to try something new, kind of let the air out of the tires every once in a while and do something different and fun. And I think that's really kind of hit. I think the series definitely hit it out of the park.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we wanted to do something cool for Lincoln Tech with them coming on. Such an important new partner of ours. We were able to, hopefully everyone looked on social media and saw the guys out there at the car show, and there's going to be more of that with Lincoln Tech and some others. We wanted to do something cool and different, this IndyCar series, and I'm a big fan of IndyCar in real life and in this in iRacing. So it's pretty cool to see it come to fruition, and I would like to see the car count get back up. But we knew it's summer series, it's something new, it's challenging, and just like you said, I think it's pretty easy to hot lap this car, but it's a lot when you get into traffic and different cars. And I don't think guys expected on the ovals to be such a challenge. I think guys expected on some of the road and street courses, but the ovals are almost more challenging in my opinion. So it's fun, but I think this car will translate into the cars we mainly run, the stock car type, just because you can feel what your car is doing and, having to run different lanes. And, when you go underneath a car, it just works on your racecraft a lot. So hopefully guys get some out of it. And coming up this fall series, like you can see some big improvement from some of these guys that ran in this series and it'll translate over for them.
Yeah, and the announcement tonight is y'all are running a GT3 series that I'm going to run in. So that's really cool. Glad to hear. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, super cool. I was really glad to be a part of this. We still got another race, my favorite racetrack, Laguna Seca. How you feel about that track? It's I said it before you jumped in here. Laguna Seca doesn't really give you much time to kind of stretch the legs of this Dallara IndyCar. Talk to me about what you're feeling like next week's going to be like.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had this car on that track. I've done it before, but I mean, an iconic track, so I love it. And that's kind of why I'm into, before, obviously not the goat locker things, but just when it comes to the driving, it's driving these iconic cars on those kind of tracks. So I'm just excited to run it. I'll be excited to watch your broadcast back because it's so cool watching cars go through the corkscrew. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I hope it can get a little racy at some parts, but I think it's just going to be whoever doesn't make mistakes, qualify well and don't make mistakes, kind of like Scott's done all year. So huge shout out to him. He's just had a great season, just hasn't made those mistakes that a lot of us have made.
All right. Well, there you have it. Ryan Pendleton takes home the victory. Dominant performance, 120 laps out of 120 laps led. Who you got to thank here tonight, Ryan?
Yeah, as always, all our partners at Goat Locker. We already mentioned Lincoln Tech, but InVet's Relevant Sound coming on board this summer. As always, Jam Printing Promotions and Cruising Classics have been with us for a long time. Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, huge partner with us. Veterans for Life Foundation, Right Now Roofing, Alexander PCs. Go check them out. It's all in our social media. Sim Motion, Next Level Racing. and everyone that supports us, you guys at V Speed. Just couldn't thank you guys enough for what you're doing for us and putting these broadcasts on. It makes a huge difference for our league.
All
And I
right.
will shout out to one guy who's not here, Brian Provo and his family. He probably, if I had to bet money on a guy, it would have been him to win this race tonight. So he wasn't able to be here. I think he was watching. So he would have came in second. I'll say that. He'll came in second.
There you go. All
Yeah.
right, Ryan Pendleton, your winner here tonight, and we'll get through the rest of these interviews and try to get y'all out of here. Thank y'all for patiently waiting as I went a little bit too long on the answer or questions, not really giving a whole lot of opportunity for answers. So we're going to work on that here. Is Scott Rankin in the booth? And Scott, you talked about it last week. It's all about not necessarily going up here trying to win the race, just keep Ryan in the I guess on the same lap here tonight. It's a little bit different how this track kind of played out, but hey, you just needed to finish second, and if the participation kind of holds here, you will win this championship. You likely already have it wrapped up, but who knows how next week's going to go. But man, talk to me about your race. Just kind of a Sunday drive out there, wasn't it?
I mean, it wasn't. It was difficult. That one was really, really tough. Um, Biggest issue we actually had out there tonight was that first run, my front right tire got down to 12%, and I needed to get to lap 60, to get home. We're driving the car just a little bit differently to the other guys, whereby the car actually turns better on throttle, so I was trying to carry a little bit of throttle to get it to come down the banking. And let the aero do all the braking effectively. So that burned a little bit more fuel, meant that we could only make the 60 laps. I wanted to try and undercut to come a little bit sooner because those couple extra laps on the fresher tires would have really changed something. But yeah, that second run, all of a sudden we went from front limited to completely and utterly rear limited, and I was having to tinker with the settings quite a lot more. Whereas that first run was just like, I'm just gonna try and get some turn in this car. I just couldn't find it. Couldn't stay with Ryan and just had to settle. So, but yeah, lock it down. When you're having a not great night, you'll take a second place.
Yeah, no cautions here tonight. Just one of those goat locker green flag races, and just didn't offer as much as once he got away, it was going to be difficult to make that up. But like I said, still got a massive lead in the points. If participation is right around this next week, you'll as soon as you log in, you'll be the champion. So it's got to feel good after a 3-win season, huh?
I was just looking at the points. So my worst race at the moment is a fourth place. My second worst race is a second. So yeah, I think Ryan was talking about it when you were having a chat to him, and said, it's been about consistency, it's been about not making mistakes. There was really pretty much only one big mistake for me on the season. There was a few little ones, but there was only one sort of major mistake, and I'm really happy with the way I'm driving the car at the moment. I've ran an Aussie series just recently, and it was just mistake after mistake after mistake. I was incredibly um, frustrated with the way that I was driving the car. I'm really frustrated with the sim, my life, and a whole bunch of extra things. So to come out here and just lock it down on all those little things and really work on things, I'm really really happy with the way I'm driving at the moment.
There you go. Well, you've got about an 8-point advantage over Ryan Pendleton after everything is all settled here after this race. So, yeah, I mean, not completely done, but show up next week and you'll be able to get that championship. So, congratulations on the second place tonight. Who you got to thank?
Want to say big shout out to the league, to everyone that makes it possible for Goat Locker. It's been really really awesome to finally find the time to come back to racing with these guys as well. I've missed it like crazy. This is where I really really grew to love iRacing, and I miss racing around these guys like you wouldn't believe. To my personal sponsors, I can't say enough about Neuropower, who've come on board and really been supportive of me over the last 8 months or so, and then Maconi Setup Shops as well. They've been really really supportive, and I was just so glad to find out that Maconi's going to be working with Goat Locker moving forwards. I think the partnership's unbelievable. And yeah, they've been able to push me a little bit further forwards and into where I wanted to be, and yeah, couldn't have done that without them.
All right, there you have it. Scott Rankin, second place here tonight. And we'll jump right into the third place. Patrick Drabick patiently waiting. Sorry, I think the interviews have been longer than the race here tonight. But man, if interesting race, seemed like it was tough out there. A lot of guys really struggling to try to find that balance with that weight jacker, getting a little bit loose and getting really tight. Traffic seemed to be really tough, and you were right in the thick of it.
Yeah, did you see how many times I spun out? That was pretty cool. I mean, I think I looped it off of. I know I looped it off of 3 different times. I mean, it was just these cars are just. It's such a fine line of trying to get some speed out of it, and then making the adjustments when you're running, in dirty air, and then forgetting to back off those adjustments. And I mean, you just overstepped the bounds a little bit, and around she went.
Yeah, I saw you. You get a run. I can't remember if it was Joe Hobbs. I think it was. You got a
Mhm.
run on him. Got down to the inside. Got out in front. And immediately almost looped it. So that
Yep.
arrow just such a big factor. I think we can all safely say these cars not easy to drive, regardless of way it seems.
Mm-mm.
But a good third place finish for you tonight. You got going into Laguna Seca. I know you're a big road course guy. Like you're the top dog road course ringer
Yeah.
in Goat
Mhm.
Lockers. So I'm looking for a win next week. We say,
I don't know where. Well, first, I don't know where you're getting your information from, but second, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. These cars are a lot of fun. I think they're a lot more fun on road courses, and I've really enjoyed that over the years. I've gotten better at road course racing, but behind the wheel of these Indy cars, I mean, Scott Rankin each and every week is just an absolute animal in these cars. Ryan Pendleton, Nathan Graham, Brian Provo, those guys have been just top notch. And I'm just trying to keep up with them a little bit, but looking forward to it. Looking forward to wrapping up the season at Laguna Seca for sure.
yeah, and then ready to in about a month get the fall season going. Or how are we excited about that? We ready to go, or are you still stressed out trying to make stuff happen?
these are great questions, Eddie. I like how you end each one of them with a giggle. Yeah. There's a lot happening in the background here at Goat Locker Racing. The nonprofit continues to grow, partnerships continue to grow. We've got a lot of time, energy, and effort coming up into the fall season. We'll be back to our regular 15-week seasons, running Xfinity on Tuesdays, running Next Gen on Wednesday, ARC on Thursday, and the trucks will be back on Friday night, right here on the V Speed Network. So I'm super excited, man, and I know a lot of guys in the league are super excited to get back to our regular season, get back to that style of racing, and get that thing kicked off. So super excited, but it's been a really fun summer series as well.
Well, not going to keep you any longer, man. Congratulations on third place tonight, and man, who you got to thank?
Yeah, big shout out to Lincoln Tech. This is the title sponsor of this series and one of our biggest sponsors, and they help out tremendously. Can't wait to do another campus visit this Monday coming up at their Indianapolis campus. And then all of our other, sponsors that have been with us for so very long. Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics. We just got, a new sponsorship and a new partnership with Maconi, which I'm truly excited about as well. Right Now Roofing, the Veterans for Life Foundation, and we've got some more things coming up with the Veterans for Life Foundation and their actual racing team. So that's going to be awesome as well. And then, of course, the Department of Veterans Affairs here in the state of Indiana for the awesome grant that they gave to us, and InVet's another great nonprofit here in the state of Indiana as well. So we continue, man. Eddie, as we always say, man, one veteran, one warrior, one lap at a time.
There you have it. From the man himself, Patrick Drabick, third place here tonight. And he having a good finish. And that's going to do it for us. Well, I tell you what, that was, a fun race to call. It was challenging. To find everybody was so spread out. It's fun to have those type of races every once in a while to kind of, I don't know, teach myself how to field. These things happen when we get spread out like this, but still a fantastic race for Ryan Pendleton and the championship battle. Well, I want to thank Lincoln Tech for their sponsorship for this series. Definitely a great partner to have, and it's been a fun IndyCar series. Looking forward to getting that next week underway. Anyway, thank all the other sponsors that we've already mentioned. Thank everybody for watching. And Bradley Cooper, Adam Baker, thanks to those guys for everything they do over at V-Speed. We're glad to be a part of that group. And looking forward to next week and getting the fall season rolling. So from Nashville, I'm Eddie Smith. We'll see you next time.